Europe invented the modern car. Yet today, in the electric vehicle race, it's falling behind. And the reason isn't climate policy, nor a lack of engineering talent. It's a series of strategic and industrial mistakes that are now coming back to haunt the entire automotive sector. The electric vehicle race is not just about cars. It's about batteries, supply chains, manufacturing scale, and long-term strategy. And this is where Europe started late and moved slowly. While others were redesigning the entire automotive ecosystem, Europe tried to adapt an industry built around combustion engines. Europe approached electric vehicles mainly through regulation, emission targets, bans, incentives, all aimed at forcing a gradual transition. China instead treated electric vehicles as a strategic industry, not just a market, but a national priority tied to energy security, manufacturing leadership, and technological independence. Two very different mindsets with very different outcomes. One key difference is pricing strategy. Many Chinese EV manufacturers are currently operating at extremely low or even zero margins. This is not a failure. It's a deliberate strategy. Flood the market, build brand recognition, scale production, and push competitors out. Profit comes later, once scale and market dominance are secured. This aggressive strategy is possible because of massive state support. Over the last few years, the Chinese government has invested more than $200 billion across the electric vehicle supply chain. Batteries, raw materials, manufacturing plants, charging infrastructure. This level of long-term investment dramatically lowers risk for manufacturers and changes the rules of competition. One of Europe's biggest mistakes wasn't technological, it was strategic. For decades, European carmakers treated Chinese suppliers as cheap workshops. The goal was simple: reduce costs and protect margins on finished vehicles. But in doing so, Europe exported something far more valuable than jobs. It exported know-how, manufacturing processes, quality control, production optimization. All of this knowledge was transferred over time, and Chinese suppliers didn't remain suppliers for long. They learned how to build the entire system. At the same time, China secured dominance over critical materials. Today, it is the world's leading producer and processor of copper and aluminum, essential for electric motors, batteries, and power electronics. What started as a cost-saving strategy slowly became a structural dependency. Batteries are the heart of an electric vehicle. They determine cost, range, performance, and profitability. Europe still relies heavily on external suppliers for battery cells and raw materials. Without control over batteries, costs remain high and innovation slows down. This makes competing on price extremely difficult. In electric vehicles, scale matters more than early innovation. Large production volumes reduce costs, stabilize supply chains, and accelerate learning curves. China achieved scale early. Europe tried to innovate first and scale later. In this market, that order matters. But perhaps the biggest hurdle for Europe is a surprising lack of conviction. While policymakers preach an all-electric future, the market reveals a deep-seated hesitation. Chinese manufacturers are successfully exporting a large number of hybrid vehicles to Europe, demonstrating Europe's lagging conviction in a fully electric market. This isn't just a market trend, it's a clear signal that Europe doesn't fully believe in its own electric dream, leaving a wide-open lane for Chinese brands to fill. This is compounded by a dramatic price surge, with European cars becoming as much as 50% more expensive over the last 15 years. This created a massive price gap, which Chinese brands are now skillfully exploiting. The European response has been fragmented and uncoordinated. Instead of a unified strategy, individual countries like Hungary and Spain are welcoming Chinese production facilities. This creates a direct conflict of interest, as these nations will now profit from Chinese car sales, fundamentally undermining a cohesive European industrial strategy. Europe still has world-class engineers and manufacturing expertise, but recovery requires speed, coordination, and industrial strategy, not just regulation. Without faster execution and control over key technologies, the gap will continue to grow. In our next episode, we'll explore the growing rivalry between China and the United States in the EV market. Do you think Europe can still catch up, or is the gap already too large? Share your thoughts in the comments.